Donruss Optic is finally here. Downtowns are back. Hits are flying. Where are the autographs? Optic has dropped this week, but first, ask yourself, are the cards that you're chasing going up or down? What is up, everybody? I am Dappz here with Ethan, and welcome to another episode of Up or Down, the show where we explore what is going to move a card either up or down in price. With Optic dropping, we're going to take a look at the product and what big cards you're chasing. We have Jaden Daniels this year. We have Caleb Williams. We have Bo Nix. We have J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix. There's so many quarterbacks in this class who you will be chasing big cards that are going to go up or down. Optic also upped the game this year with a case hit downtown, but it's a dual downtown. 2 players, 1 downtown. This is a big deal. Are you excited? If you are excited, are these more or less sought after than your traditional downtown? What we want to know is, are these cards going up or down? Are you holding diamond hands or are you flipping right away in the first 30 days? We're going to discuss that right now. With the release of Optic this week, obviously Jaden Daniels downtowns are about to go up in price, way up in price. Now, a BGS 9.5 gold downtown from Donruss sold for around $30K in the last 3 months or 4 months, whatever it is. Now the question is that card going down in price? What is the more valuable? Obviously, Optic historically is going to hold a little bit more value than your paper Donruss. And do you want to break down why that is as well?
Well, because Donruss is a cheaper product, and over the time, Donruss is more printed than Optic is. Optic nowadays is just shinier, more clear. They used to have lasers in the background, so people like that. Either way, these whole case hit gimmick stuff is just going downhill. They're just saturating the market with uptowns, downtowns, dual downtowns, case hit after case hit after case hit. Case hits started in the late 90s, Star Rubies, PMGs, and those were actually case hits. Like, people would go through boxes and boxes and boxes to find one card. If you have 4 different case hits in one product, what's actually the case hit?
Right, and it diminishes the value of the cards because the whole reason a card's value goes up is because it's scarce and it's limited, and people want to have that card because other people don't have it, and it's a flex. So it's interesting how Donruss comes out with downtown paper, and it holds value for X amount of months. Mm-hmm. But now it's going down in price, but now here comes Optic, which will obviously hold the higher average downtown price for a Jaden Daniels card, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to hold a higher value than your paper. Mm-hmm. The question is, how high do you think Jaden Daniels is going to go up on just your base downtown? What do you see that kind of ending up raw at?
I think a Jaden Daniels downtown, a PSA 10, should be about $3,000, which makes raw about $1,500. We also don't know if they're doing the Super Bowl downtowns like they've done in present years. I think at this point, every base downtown, uptown, Super Bowl downtown, dual downtown are worth nothing. The Black Pandoras and the Golds are probably the only rare cards of the set. So those are going to maintain some value. But I will tell you, by Nationals, a Jaden Daniels downtown PSA 10 will be $4K. A Drake May should probably be like $2,500. A Bo Nix should be like $28. Caleb $3K. Penix $25.
Why? I don't know if I'm misremembering, but is the 1/1 downtown a gold vinyl?
Well, which 1/1? That's our problem. It is a vinyl, but now there's a white sparkle downtown. I think Donruss might have a black downtown, so it clearly has a platinum downtown.
Well, clearly is just a completely different product, and I don't hate that gimmick. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about a downtown, they really should have identified the 1/1 as a particular color, mm-hmm. lime green or red, or like. Listen, take a nod to the 90s PMGs, like make a downtown red. Mm-hmm. Right? Because your traditional downtowns are not red, or excuse me, your traditional 1/1s are not red, but the downtown red.
I like the vinyl downtowns. Those are the true downtowns. But like today, I saw the dual Mike Vick Penix downtown get pulled by Hobby House, and it was one of the ugliest cards I've seen so far.
So last year, CJ Stroud's downtown goes astronomically up in price because he was just balling out. I mean, he's winning all of these games in the fourth quarter, overtime, last-minute drives. And now He gets sacked 60 times. The Texans squeak into the playoffs, but he doesn't look like the C.J. Stroud in his rookie year. Maybe they watched some tape on him, but his downtowns have went down in price significantly. And what do you think that attributes to?
It attributes to the rookie sensation. It's all new stuff, new this, new that. People love new. And then when C.J. Stroud gets old, people want the new guy. C.J. Stroud won 11 games last year, made the playoffs, and won a game. His stuff went down. It's just inevitable. Jaden Daniels will go down. Every player goes down.
Now the question is, who has the most potential from this rookie draft class out of Optic to go up in price? Now, listen, I think Jaden Daniels, it's obvious, it's apparent that he will have the highest price of any downtown with the product releasing this week. But I'm talking about who has, at their current price point or the price point that is realized over the next week or two, who has the biggest opportunity to go up in price out of these quarterbacks from this class?
I want to preface this that I don't think you should invest in any new quarterbacks, but if you were to do it, there is a time period from preseason to week 4 where a couple of them could spike. My best bet would be Drake May because I like the additions around him. I like that he's already has a very low floor, and I think if you watch the tape, he's a good quarterback.
Listen, I like the Drake May play. I like Vrabel in town. I think that that increases the chances of Drake May being on a winning team. We saw what Vrabel did in Tennessee with Ryan Tannehill. I think we've seen play out of Drake May that exceeds the ability or the skill set of a Ryan Tannehill. So I think Drake May is probably, his downtown is like half the price of Jaden, 1/3. What would you say it is?
It's probably half.
It's half? So, I mean, would you really be surprised if Jaden Daniels regressed a little bit and Drake May kind of took a couple steps forward? The Bills are obviously the lead in that division, but pretty weak besides that. The Jets stink. The Dolphins stunk last year. We'll see what the Patriots can do. But I like Drake May increasing 10, 20, 30% from now until week 4. And also, why is it week 4? It's such a weird thing with football where prices increase when the season starts, and I get it, speculation and hype, but you would think a player who's playing well week 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that would hold or spike your price, but it doesn't. It doesn't work like that in the hobby.
A lot of it is that by week 4, the cat's out the bag. You know if you're a good team or not. Drake May and J.J. McCarthy both have nothing bad on the resume in terms of that, like, last year they played like shit or they have this going wrong and this is a big error. They only have positives. Like, Drake May led rookie rushing last year. J.J. McCarthy hasn't played a snap yet. So a lot can happen in 4 games that add value, while Jaden Daniels already won a playoff game, made to the NFC Championship. Like, to match that again would be so hard to do for a second-year quarterback.
It would be so hard to do. And listen, it is interesting because I want to go back to something you said earlier in the conversation. For sure, the hobby is a speculation hype type league. What have you done for me lately? But at the same time, I think you watched what happened with SGA in basketball this year with his cards going astronomically up in price. It does take a player sometimes 4, 5, 6, 7 years to develop into an MVP caliber player. I mean, even take Luka, for example, which is the opposite of this, where they're just overhyped from the beginning. And listen, Luka has reason to be hyped, but he still hasn't won an MVP. He still hasn't won a championship, right? So whereas SGA is trending towards, whether you like it or not, he's probably going to win the MVP this year, and that's why we've seen the increase in his price. So he is a player who did take 4, 5, 6 years to mature, and his card price, though, if you had diamond hands, right, like you've been sitting on those SGA cards, that paid off. But also maybe you could have watched SGA come into the league, waited 2 or 3 years, bought the dip, and now 2 years or 1 year later, you're sitting on his MVP season. But this is the scouting part of the hobby, right?
Yeah, I mean, prospecting is the hardest part of this hobby. It's a dime a dozen if your player goes up. Like the Shays and the Jaden Daniels, it doesn't happen very often. So when you hit, that's when you're getting the 2, 3, 4, 5x because it wasn't easy. You know, if you look at Shay's market before this, it was always pretty strong. So to buy into Shay, at a low point, you already paid pretty high. So if it goes up, it has to be an astronomical change if you want a 200, 300, 400% increase. Because the starting buy was, let's say you paid $5K for a Shea card, it has to go to $15K for you to 3x your money. Well, let's say you bought into a player for $100, 3x is only a $300 card.
Absolutely. And I mean, bringing this back to like a Peyton Pritchard, right? Because I'm watching him in the playoffs, and I remember pulling Peyton Pritchard cards like in breaks when he was a rookie, and you're just like, Peyton Pritchard, like, nobody wants Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
And then he's the fourth, fifth, sixth option on this team, whatever you want to call him. But I remember watching the game the other night, thinking like, I bet guys who have been sitting on Peyton Pritchard are up like 5x because his cards it's like playing penny stocks, right? Like nobody wants Peyton Pritchard. He goes from $1 to $5. You just 5x your money. So if you're a Peyton Pritchard PC, like you're in a decent spot.
Penny stocks are one of the most profitable ways to go around the hobby. You know, buying cards, like I'm buying a Reed Shepherd now, they're $100 cards. I buy Jeremy Sojan cards, they're $100 cards. If it goes to $800, which is still affordable for most hobbyists, that's an 8x. When you're playing the big boy games, like buying Shea cards, and then you hit that gamble, that's when you see these $100,000 sales.
And something you brought up last week on the episode, I think, was that Joker does not have a RPA out of NT.
Or flawless, or immaculate.
So what was the big logo? The logo
It's
chase out of immaculate?
Non-auto.
Non-auto. So, and the reason I bring this up is Optic this year, Optic football, the thing that we've been talking about this week is where are all the autos, right? Where are all the autos in Optic? And it's just Penix signing?
And McCarthy.
Penix and McCarthy, we have autos of those two.
Yeah.
So, Fanatics and Dappz, their battle with Panini is really the ones suffering are collectors, right? Because they're doing these exclusive auto deals, and I'd love to see a healthy marketplace where both Panini and Fanatics exist, creating sets, and they're kind of like competing for our business, because then the market determines, is Topps Chrome better than Prism? Is Immaculate better than Diamond Icons or whatever the sets that they're going to release are. But how do you think Optic is going to fare in the market once the downtown craze goes down?
The no auto problem isn't the end all of the product. If the base gold was aesthetically pleasing, or if the downtowns were really quality artwork, then this product would be good. But as you saw with the Donruss, they CGI'd or AI'd the whole Uptown logo, whatever. If they brought the people who designed the mangas from Prism, you brought that artwork into downtowns, you got a real professional, like say the guy who designed 2008 Topps Chrome, the guy who designed 2017 Optic, the guy who designed 2020 Singlass, and you made this Optic product aesthetically pleasing, then there would be a market for it. But Panini is money hungry and will dump garbage on you, which is probably what we're going to see.
I don't know if you saw today, but Mahomes signed exclusive with Panini. It's just, but then you think that through and you're like, so Mahomes is going to have autos in unlicensed product in a year or two? Like, and this is what I'm talking about. It's like, why can't we just have a deal where Topps and Fanatics get licenses, Panini gets licenses, you have exclusive Mahomes rights, fine. You have exclusive Jaden Daniels rights, fine. It's just at least now the hobby can get autographs of all these players, and that's the disheartening part for a collector.
I am so proud of Panini from reaching their hand out of the grave and just grabbing this Patrick Mahomes autos. Like this product, they just got 10 more years of life from this. I am now going to be buying NT for half the price I am now because it's unlicensed and getting the player I want. Topps fumbled the bag. The best player in the league, maybe one of the players of all time, are now not going to sign with you. Like, where are the Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes autos going to be for the next 10 years? Nowhere. I am still going to be buying Panini products. They're still going to have cool Mahomes, maybe Prism case hits, maybe Optic case hits. I'm very proud of Panini.
Yeah, proud is a word that I don't know if I'll use because of all the Panini product I've ripped, I don't know if I could ever be proud of them. But listen, they do put out a lot of product that we all have come to love and want to chase. I mean, Prism is one of my favorite products, and it's just, for me, like, You open a new product, even Deca this year, people are like shitting on Deca. I'm opening it, I'm like, this is sick. I love this product. And it might not hold value the way, Prism Hobby does, but like for me, I'm just like, I think the product's awesome. I think the black golds are awesome. I think the mojos are awesome. Like, it's just a good looking product. So I don't know if it's worth the price point. I think that it should be significantly cheaper. And I still don't understand some of that, how they get away with charging some of these prices, especially with the fact that, like you said, there's McCarthy and Penix autos, and that's it.
Yeah, Panini needs to stop now printing Deca. This has to be the last year of Deca. If this is a one-time thing, it will be a timeless product that collectors will like. If there's a Deca again next year, I'm over it.
You know what? We usually do Topps idea of the week. This is Panini idea of the week. Panini idea of the week would be, if Deca came out or you want to rebrand it as something else, why don't you just go, okay, this is going to be a Prism product that replicates 2013 prints. Yes. And then next year, release Deca that does 2014 prints. So it's like now you give collectors a little bit of nostalgia. You don't have to rethink the whole wheel. Like, just rethink the wheel? Is that a thing? Do people say that? Yeah. Rethink the wheel? Well, you don't have to reinvent it. I said rethink it, rethinking, reinventing.
If you watched last episode, I said every wrong thing. Like my grammar, like every phrase was wrong.
He texted me, he's like, my grammar's horrible after watching the first edit.
I was saying the worst things.
Sponsored by Grammarly.
Here's the problem with this. Panini already ruined that. They are making 2014 flashbacks for in this year Prism, Caleb Williams and that. 2013 flashbacks were last year. They have to cut flashbacks, just put into Deca, and then I'm sold.
Yeah, so see, that's the problem. You shouldn't be spreading all of these ideas in one product when Prism Deca and Prism Hobby, they're not distinguished as really different products, right? When you could easily distinguish Prism Deca from Prism Hobby by saying, this year we are re-releasing the 2013 prints. And then you have a new Prism product, a new design that comes out every year, and then you're just recycling old versions, which, by the way, if 2013 was a big year for a particular player, make sure that guy, those 10, 20 guys autograph in that set. And now it's like, oh, this is cool because, Giannis in 2013 was the guy, so get those autos in this new flashback series, and it's like, it's kind of recycling in a way that makes a little bit more sense.
Panini Idea of the Week Part 2, I don't want next year's Deca to be Prism. I want Deca's next year to be 2016 Optic, first year Optic. Or I just want them to take good top tier products. I want them to take old school products that everyone loves and redo them. It doesn't have to be Prism. It could be anything. It could, I don't know, with the licensing, make 2008 Topps Chrome back into Topps this year.
Wish. Yeah,
that'd be amazing. Or the Wembies they did for us.
To be honest, like 2003 basketball Topps Chrome, 04, 05, 06, all the way through like 09. Maybe it ends at 08 or 09. Every year there was like really cool cards in a lot of this Topps Chrome, and it's like, we don't need all these new designs sometimes. We need to go back to your roots. You know what I mean? Or release a product that's Topps Roots.
Topps Roots.
Boom! No, I don't like that, actually, but like
2004 Finest would be in there.
Yeah.
Like, 2003 Platinum. Like, that'd be some cool products.
They do it. They just don't do it right.
They go too far back.
Yeah, they just and we gotta really like I said, distinguish this product is this thing, because they're making products that are like, well, this thing has this thing and this product has this product and there's elements of this product, and it's like, just define what we're chasing and be a little bit more transparent so that we can chase it. So, last year, Optic dropped these God cases. I think we were calling them God cases last year.
FOTL ones.
And they had like 15 downtowns per case, or maybe per.
It was like up to 20.
No, it was an error. It wasn't even God cases. FOTL had all of the Optic. I was seeing 5 downtowns in a single box. You should have seen Whatnot that day. People were slamming case buys on FOTL.
So I think we bought a case for like 9 or 10K, or maybe it was 11, and I think I got an offer for like 20 on it. And I was like, no, I gotta open this. Like, we sold it on stream, but I wanted to see it, and it was worth it. Like, the action on the stream that day was just insane. And like, sure, I could have like made an extra 10K selling the case and I not seen it, but it was awesome to watch. So the question though is, do you think there's going to be an error like that this year?
No way. Because it also, it ruined the hobby drop. Everyone saw that all the downtowns were FOTL, that they knew that Optic had none of them, which was ended up being right. So during the Dutch auction, those Optic cases plummeted.
So you think 23 Optic cases don't have downtowns in them?
They don't have as many as the other ones do. They definitely have significantly less.
Well, typically like a case will have one downtown though.
But
You know what I mean?
that wasn't the problem. It wasn't the downtowns. It was that the vinyls and the Black Pandoras.
For
were
sure.
all the
Dude,
good ones.
we hit a gold and a Black Pandora in the same case, which, and among 20 other base downtowns too. So that was a wild experience for the hobby. I kind of hope that Panini saw that and they're like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just release a couple God cases. I don't think that it has to be photo. Like, I just think it's cool if somebody rips a case open, they're like, did we just hit 2 downtowns?
Yeah.
Did we just hit 3 downtowns?
Oh.
It would be way cooler if you were ripping that as a personal case, but it's really cool if you have a stream going and like you're breaking and your audience gets to participate in that, because it's so unique and it's so unheard of that it'd be really cool if Panini or Dappz, like, they do release those types of cases so that you can have those moments.
They need to steal a page from Pokemon. Pokemon does that, and it's so fun to watch because sometimes it's a little God pack, sometimes it's a giant God pack. I want to see them do packs like all Patrick Mahomes, all Jaden Daniels. What if you did a pack that's like an Optic or Prism, who knows what it's in, where there's a Color Blast, a Kaboom, a Downtown, and a Stained Glass? Like, that would be electric.
That would be amazing, and it would be amazing if it's caught on camera too, right? So Optic this year, I know some people are a little bit down on it because, not every single player is signing, and traditionally a lot of Optic cards you're chasing because of the autos. And listen, the truth of the matter is a lot of Panini products, even outside of Optic, because there's no autographs in it, and Origins, for example, it's like, what are you paying for, right? And I think that's where the hobby would love to see these boxes to be significantly cheaper, right? Like, great, we have 2 of the 5 or 6 quarterbacks who are available as autographs, but we're not seeing 2/6 the price, right? We're not getting a 60% discount on the boxes that we're buying. So listen, I'm still excited for Optic. I love downtowns. I love to see the art. I love the golds. I love the Pandoras and everything in between. So for me, I want to see these cases get ripped open. But I would love to see the God cases. We'll see if that's a reality or not.
Yeah. And I don't want to trash Optic. It's one of my favorite sets. Like 2016, 2017 Optic are timeless pieces. You get to see the player's face. You get a nice, clean, bold auto directly on the card.
Would you say that behind Prism, like Optic is the next best? Listen, let's move like Flawless and NT off to the side for a second, and Prism's number 1. Is Optic second? Is Select second?
I don't think they're second. I think they're 1B, because there's some years where Optic's better than Prism.
For sure.
Like 2016 and 2017, give me a Mahomes Optic over a Mahomes Prism. I don't want to see a dude in the helmet during training camp. I want to see his beautiful face. I want to get to know the player. I want to see Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott staring me in the eyes. Half the card's value is in the aesthetics.
Well, I get to see his beautiful face every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Yes, you're lucky. Very lucky.
That's a wrap for this week's episode of Up or Down. I am Dappz. This is Ethan. Please tell us in the comments, is Optic going to be worth it this year? Or is it not worth it because there's not autographs? Are you chasing downtowns? Let us know, who are you chasing in Optic? Which downtown are you looking for? Are we wrong to predict that Jaden Daniels is going to be the most valuable downtown? If it's not Jaden Daniels, who is it? Please like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, guys. We're dropping a new episode of Up or Down every single week. We appreciate you guys for watching. We will see you next week.